Coming up next on The Voice of Alabama Politics, where's Waldo? Also, the V team looks at the enthusiastic anti-vaxxers. And Mo Brooks is trying to raise Mo money off of President Trump's rally.
You should take a fellow American to a meal.
Maybe Linda and Katie can toss him a few coins. He'll need it. All this and much, much more coming up next on The V. Welcome to The Voice of Alabama Politics, where we tackle the tough issues so you have the hard facts. I'm your host, Bill Britt, and today I'm joined by Susan Britt, research guru extraordinaire, and Josh Moon, columnist and investigative reporter at APR. Welcome.
Hey glad to be here. Hey, Josh.
How y'all doing?
Josh, Angie sends her love. She says she'll be back at the end of the month.
Yeah. I bet she does. You see how scared she is. See how scared she is.
We do
come back on
we do love having Angie.
Angie
she does
scared?
a great job.
Yeah, stay in the same room with her. Go right ahead.
All right, well, COVID-19 cases continue, Susan, to rise in Alabama. It is just, we are back to where we were during some of the toughest times of the COVID.
It's bad enough that we're considering going out of the studio again and going back home.
Yeah.
I mean, we got 14,000 new cases this past week.
Yeah.
I mean, we've got over 1,800 people hospitalized, 500 people in ICU. The vaccine clinics are opening back up. The hospitals are having to, meet again to discuss what they're going to do with their beds. The UAB is asking people the hospitals are asking people not to come to the emergency rooms if it's not an absolute emergency. We're right back where we were.
Josh.
And it's simply because people are not getting vaccinated.
Well, and I don't think you can shame them into it, and I'm not even sure you can scare them into it, Josh.
Well, I don't know. It looks like the vaccine numbers are going up significantly over the last few weeks, and so that's a positive sign in this. But you're right. The fact that we were dead last in the country in vaccination rates has a lot to do with the skyrocketing number of cases and hospitalizations. And I'll tell you the thing that's always troubled me about this, and especially the anti-vaxxers and the hoaxes, and really the anti-coronavirus people that are out there that are just convinced that this whole thing is overblown and everything else is the hospitalization number. What do you think that is? Why do you think they're putting up tents at hospitals around the country now again? So they can serve more patients. Why do you think that's happening? If you're into this deal where you don't believe this is all that serious and all that, 90% of our most vulnerable people in the country have been vaccinated. That means our elderly and our older folks and our elderly people. So if we're still putting up these tents and we're still having an overrun of the hospital, what do you think's causing that? If you're into this group of people that think this is a hoax, what do you think is making these people go to the hospital?
Well, and again, there is no real logic in my mind to why you wouldn't get the vaccination, but people have their own logic. And I want to look at a clip here. This is a clip of a Republican event that happened a couple of weeks ago. The Federation of Republican Women down in Dothan met. They had Georgia Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene, and let's see what happened when Ms. Taylor was speaking about being vaccinated.
And one more thing on that, you lucky people here in Alabama might get a knock on your door because I hear Alabama might be one of the most unvaccinated states in the nation. Well, Joe Biden wants to come talk to you guys.
This video was leaked, and David Parkman posted it online. And Josh, they were applauding when she said that Alabama was the least vaccinated state in the country. Applause.
Yeah. Yeah, it's honestly, I don't know what is going on with people. I mean, it's like this rebellious spirit to their own detriment, sort of a thing. You know, and later in that same clip that he releases online, she talks about essentially shooting the people that might come door to door from the federal government to explain the vaccine and explain the virus more to you in hopes that you'll go and get the vaccine. You know, we had a similar campaign in the 40s, where then President Roosevelt sent people around to explain about polio and the efforts to get a vaccine and asked people to donate to the vaccine efforts. And that became the March of Dimes.
That's right.
And so essentially Marjorie Taylor
polio.
Greene, Marjorie Taylor Greene asked you to shoot the March of Dimes people, basically, you know, and it's just, to what end? These are people trying to save your lives. And what do you think they're doing? I said the stupidity of this is off the charts.
Well, she said, you know, us Southerners, we do love our Second Amendment rights.
Yeah.
We do love our guns.
Well, and you know, I'm a gun owner, but I also like life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. And I think death kind of ends all that.
I was talking to somebody the other
And
day.
then you just
that
people
said,
coming to your
one of
door.
Yeah. Well, he would say, well, one of the long-term effects might be arthritis. I said, you know what? I'll take arthritis over death any day.
Well, and Governor Ivey has been very active promoting the vaccine. Mitch McConnell lately, several Republicans have came forward. But again, if you get in that tight circle of what we refer to as the base, vaccines are seen as something that you shouldn't do. Mask or say.
You know, here's the thing that irritates me about that. The people, the leaders in the country, Mo Brooks, Donald Trump, they've all been vaccinated, but yet they are promoting not getting vaccinated.
Yeah, well, I don't know
they're
that
placating.
promoting not getting.
Yeah, they're placating to this base of people is what they're
Exactly.
doing. They're placating
Exactly.
this base of people in the hopes of not angering them. And in the meantime, they're sending a mixed message out here to people where you're having banning vaccine passports, but on the other hand, you're asking people to go get vaccinated. It doesn't work. It doesn't work when you do that sort of thing.
Well, when you applaud the fact that you are lax in vaccinating people and saving lives, then you either have a mental illness or you're so callous about the care of other people that what are you doing in our society?
Yeah, they're just showing how stupid. They're just going back to the reputation of Alabama being ignorant. They're just promoting that again.
Well, we've got about 1 minute, and the Department of Public Health this week, Alabama Department of Public Health, has recommended masks for all schools. They've recommended them. This is not going to happen uniformly.
No.
This is going to be district by district. And I'm at a loss to even imagine what comes fall.
It scares me to death because children are now getting this vaccine. We were actually going to have a function for our entire crew this coming weekend. We had to cancel it because even though we're vaccinated, our 2 3-year-olds and 1-year-old can't get a vax. So if one of us is carrying it, they could get sick. I can't imagine what's going to happen in schools.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. And even if you require them, you know, the preschools. I have a friend that's a teacher, April Seitz, that you know she's concerned because her children just mangle them all.
Yeah.
What's going to happen now?
Well, and we don't know, but we're going to have to leave it right there. You're watching the voice of Alabama politics. We'll be right back.
So you got caught speeding. But this time you got more than a ticket.
What are you in for?
Vehicular homicide.
Stop speeding before speeding stops you. Drive safe, Alabama. A message from your Alabama Department of Transportation.
Your career isn't a job, it's a journey. Your next job could lead to bigger things, and you're in charge of how fast and how far you want to go. At alabamaworks.com, you can connect with employers and start working right now. Then chart your path forward with training and career planning tools. That next paycheck is great, but it's only the beginning. Start a great success story at alabamaworks.com.
Welcome back to the voice of Alabama politics. The Alabama Republican Party last week announced that former President Donald Trump will be holding a rally, a Save America rally, in Cullman. I know lots of Republicans, lots of folks in the state are very excited about that, Susan. One of the people that's most excited about it is Mo Brooks, who President Trump has endorsed. And Josh, you and I've seen it, and we've written about it, and Susan's seen it, and talked about it. And it looks like Mo Brooks is basically co-opting the Trump event so that he can raise money for his flagging campaign, I should say, because he's not raising any money. But he's using the former president as a tool to raise money with.
Yeah, it's a strange mix of Mo Brooks and the Republican Party and the Donald Trump, whatever that he is now. I don't know if it's a campaign or just a popular speech giver. It's all this weird mix that is, very troubling, I think, for people that follow laws. Now, not that has ever hindered Donald Trump in the least, but Mo Brooks put out an answer to Eric Swalwell's lawsuit this week that said he had never been convicted of a felony or anything else. And so I hope that he's not endangering this in some way. I do think there are some serious questions that are going to be raised about the intermingling of these things and how it's being handled donation-wise, where you can donate to either Mo or the party or the Trump organization, and you can get tickets and benefits and things like that for the event, which seems to indicate some sort of cooperation between the parties there. So. That is for federal law can be pretty confusing on a lot of those things, and I'm not accusing anybody of anything. I want to be clear about that. No. But I do think that there are some questions that are going to be raised because there's some very angry people within the Republican Party.
Well, a question that I do have to raise, and I'm no expert on this, and I'm not accusing anybody of anything, but if Trump donated tickets to Mo Brooks, who are using the tickets to raise money, isn't that an in-kind contribution? I've got a real question about that.
Well, one of the things that they're doing, and this is what Mo Brooks is promoting, is that if you donate to him, and you get your ticket, you donate to him, you also get exclusive parking, you get to come in early, you get
an air-conditioned tent,
you get better seating. Now, there's a tier there, so you have to donate X amount of dollars each time to get certain perks. My question is, and like you, how does this play in, and how is it fair to like Lindy Blanchard, Katie Britt, Jessica Taylor?
Right.
These candidates are not getting this preferential treatment.
Right.
Now, I talked with the chairman of the Alabama Republican Party, who said that they have no control over that. Now, I also pointed out to him this brief statement here I thought was kind of interesting. This went out on August 6th from the Save America group, PAC, and it says Donald Trump, 45th President of the United States, will be delivering remarks at a major rally in Cullman. He said, this rally will be hosted by the Alabama Republican Party and held in conjunction with the Alabama Republican Party's summer event. Meeting. Now, when I asked Mr. Waldo, he said that no, they are not sponsoring the rally. But I pointed out to him that while I was not a Supreme Court justice, I tended to go with the original, the language. And he said, well, they misspoke.
Maybe they did.
They
in my
miswrote.
mind, when
They
you
didn't
say
just
hosted. Yeah, go ahead, Josh.
No, I was going to say that they didn't misspeak. They miswrote. They wrote it down and approved it and sent it out to everybody. So it's not. They didn't accidentally say something in the dark one day.
Right. Because according to the chairman of the Alabama Republican Party, they are not hosting that event. That is a Trump event, and that they are they're hosting a fundraiser with the former president, and then Mo Brooks is basically out here, taking his free tickets and his freebie stuff and trying to raise money. Now,
well, he's acting like it's the Mo Brooks / Trump event.
And I'm sure.
And according to Wall, it's not that. But it certainly looks like it.
What's that, Josh?
Yeah, that's what it is. It's the Mo Brooks / Trump event. I mean, yeah, he's endorsed Mo Brooks. They've worked to bring him into this state to help boost that, campaign that's getting beat like a drum. And so, this is what it is. He's here to help Mo Brooks. I don't understand, why anybody is confused about that part of it. The only question to me is whether or not they violated federal laws in doing this, and whether or not they violated the bylaws of the Alabama Republican Party. I don't know that.
And those are questions for lawyers. We certainly would not accuse them of doing that, neither the Trump organization nor the Alabama Republican Party.
We've heard from a lot of people that are raising those questions. All right, we've heard from a lot of Republicans in that committee. Yeah.
Well, I have a question, and I think this is a burning question. It's been on my mind for several years now, and I still can't figure it out. Why do these rallies feature songs by the Village People? I still don't understand that. I don't get it because, I enjoyed the Village People, for 2 seconds back at some point when I was young. But I just wonder if our Republican friends understand that French music producer Jacques Morali, gay man who came to New York City to try to find fame and fortune in America, he went to a gay costume party at a disco. And he was amazed at so many gay American men dressing in iconic costumes like macho men. And he decided that he would put together a group that looked like macho men with a gay persona. Now, our friends of the Republican Party don't generally have a lot of goodwill towards the gays, so why the Village People, Josh?
Go for it, Josh.
You know what? It's almost like a comedy where it's like the people are trying to get away with as much as they possibly can, just to see if anybody will catch on. Honestly, I can't answer that. I have zero idea why they have chosen Macho Man. I guess it's kind of the same way that a lot of people will play Born in the USA by Bruce Springsteen on the 4th of July and stuff and not realize what the song is actually about.
Yeah, that song is not it's talking about how bad it was
exactly
for these guys. Yeah. Well, in the words of the Village People, we want you. We want you. We want you as the next recruit. All right, we're going to leave it right there. You're watching The V, the voice of Alabama politics.
You'll never guess what 400,000 people in the U.S. were using when they crashed their cars last year. No, not this. This. Distracted driving will kill you. Drive safe, Alabama. A message from your Alabama Department of Transportation.
If you've been working, you've already proven yourself in ways you may not even notice. Managing your time, communicating effectively, and working as part of a team are key skills that employers value. At alabamaworks.com, you can find out how to build on your experience to up your game and get the job you really want because it's out there. Start your new success story at alabamaworks.com.
Sponsored by Alabama Works, the Alabama Broadcasters Association, and this station.
Welcome back to The V, the voice of Alabama politics. Josh, I've been lately wondering where's Waldo? And by that I mean where's Waldo Steve Marshall? Because for at least a month now, we've been trying to get records of Mr. Marshall's whereabouts, his daily schedule, leading up to the January 6th insurrection riot. Now, we've requested these records several times, and we are told that they cannot release these records for security reasons. I think you're now hearing there might be something a little different for the reason why we can't find his records.
I think the biggest problem, from talking to people that are well versed in this, I'll say that, not to give anybody away, the problem is not so much what he was doing, but what he wasn't doing, which is he does very little as the actual Attorney General of the state, other than going around doing self-promotional events. And I think that is some of the problem in turning over these records. I mean, to say that you can't provide a news organization with public documents people should be just insane about this, that the guy that is the head law enforcement officer in this state, the Attorney General of the state, is failing to follow the law. All right, that's what he's doing. He's failing to follow the law by refusing to turn over public records by giving an excuse that is so thin and is so it's so ridiculous to think that there is some danger to Steve Marshall by turning over his calendar from January of this year. That it's absurd, and there's no way that it would stand up in court. But the problem, of course, is Alabama's very pitiful open records laws that some very good legislators on both sides of the aisle have tried to fix numerous times and have failed because they always get pushback from people like Steve Marshall and others. And it allows this sort of flaunting of the law, which it should anger everybody. Listen, no matter what you think of open records and the media and everything else, the fact is that you want an open government. You want to be able to see what people are doing. You want to have the records that are produced in the course of an open government. And you want the guy who is in charge of enforcing those laws to at least follow the damn things.
I mean, Susan, we've heard similar things, that he's out doing lunches and, meeting with big donors and that kind of thing. And, it's just, and I don't doubt that that's accurate. I mean, I've talked to people, former, folks at the AG's office, and they say Steve Marshall never wanted the job of Attorney General. He just wanted to
He just wanted the title. He just wanted the power and the fame. And is anybody surprised? Honest to God, is anybody surprised that all he's doing is going out and doing self-promotion? That's all he's ever done.
Yeah.
It's just self-promotion.
Well, he will get reelected.
He loves to get in front of an audience. He loves to go to Rotary Club and have everybody worship him while he's at the podium.
Is that what they do? Oh, God.
Well, at least in his mind it is.
Okay. I tell you what, he has issued several opinions which, come off of this so-called vaccine passport ban. We passed a law, the government passed a law back during session that is just as nuts as they ever come. But one of the things is that Steve Marshall clarified this week that schools, and this means colleges too, cannot require proof of vaccination. Now, Birmingham Southern was thinking about requiring proof for vaccination. And if you were unvaccinated, they were going to charge you $500, Josh, to pay for the testing. It's a simple thing. You're either vaccinated or you get tested.
Yeah, well, I'll say this to clarify a little bit. Birmingham Southern created a very ingenious workaround, which is to say, we're not asking you to prove that you've been vaccinated.
Oh, okay.
If you decide not to prove that you're vaccinated, then you're going to have to take this series of tests every week.
Right.
And we're going to charge you $500 for administering these tests. Now, if you would like to waive that fee, you show us a vaccine card and you're out of that $500 just like that. Poof, it goes away. Now, Marshall issued an opinion saying that that was possibly a violation of the law, which is something you always like to hear from your AG, something that's possibly against the law. I'll tell you, I've heard from some people from Birmingham Southern, and there are some attorneys that attended Birmingham Southern, are alums, and there are a lot of people that are quite willing to take that case on if somebody wants to take it.
All right, good.
Yeah, well, I've just got one question. What are the ramifications if they do that? Nothing. There's no teeth in the law. There are no repercussions. If Birmingham Southern decides to do that, they can do it, and without penalty, without restriction whatsoever. That law is nothing. That law is just paper. That's all it is.
Well, they wanted to prove how tough they were.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah, they wanted to show their base that they're so tough, but forgot to put the ramifications in the bill
It
on
was written by
purpose.
Arthur Orr. What do y'all expect?
Well,
I mean, come
what
on.
do you expect?
I mean, anyway, what are you going to say? Hey, what did they do? Because Tyson Food is saying you either vaccinated or you're out of here. You know. So what are they going to go to Tyson and arrest people at Tyson? Or what can they do?
Well, no, I honestly, I don't know how any of this stuff ever stands up in court, given some of the recent Supreme Court decisions about private businesses and what you can do and what you can't do. And so and we had another federal court opinion that said employers can require vaccines. So
Sure.
I think that a lot of this stuff is just basically screaming by people who want to satisfy a base of people that are out there putting people in harm's way.
That's exactly what it is.
I think you're right. Well, we got about 1 minute, and I wanted to just touch on this. It's worth about a minute. Jim Zigler, he wants to be somebody so bad, Susan. I mean, he's now
Tell
saying...
me something I don't already know.
He's saying by the end of August, he's going to make a decision whether he's going to run for governor.
How many months has he been saying that now?
Well, he's been exploring it. He's got a little pith helmet.
Yeah, right.
He's got a butterfly net.
What, has he got a magnifying glass?
Yeah, he's
okay,
exploring.
all right.
All right. So, Josh, what are the odds of Jim Zigler actually running for governor and winning?
Winning? Oh, 0. Yeah, I mean, is there a number less than 0 of winning? Oh, yeah, no, running. I mean, if he thinks he can get a little publicity and a little bit of money, then he'll definitely run. But winning, there's absolutely no chance.
Well, there's several other people that have already thrown the hat in the ring. Recently, Governor Ivey Governor Ives got over $1 million in the bank. She
Yeah,
raised
I don't think people are
$500,000.
underestimating how popular she actually is. Gas tax or no.
She really, and we've seen some
everybody's blaming the gas tax on Biden anyway, so.
Anyway, I'm confused now.
Well, you're in Alabama, you're supposed to be. That's the way they want you. They want you to be confused.
I'm not usually that confused, but Ivy has 83% positive rating. That's her approval rating, 83%. That you're not going to overcome. All right, we're going to have to leave it right there. You've been watching the voice of Alabama politics. You watch us because we watch them.